Stephen Harper hath decreed Canadian soldiers will remain in Afghanistan until at least 2014. Michael Ignatieff, leader of the opposition, defiantly states he would have agreed to extend the Afghan war had Stephen just asked nicely. Then the conservative stacked Senate killed a climate change bill like an unmanned drone taking out an Afghan wedding party. Is it just me, or does anyone else think Canadian democracy got the coup de grace last week? So it's going to be Afghanistan forever by dictatorial fiat. But it's not like Afghanistan needs Canadians to train their armies. Currently, of the 48 nations serving in Afghanistan, 1/3 already limit themselves to training Afghans. Now, many Afghan soldiers are economic conscripts and couldn't give a rat's ass about NATO plans for their country, so there are challenges facing the trainers, much the same as those of your average high school teacher, keeping their charges from smoking hash and skipping class. But like the British in Iraq, the Canadian presence lends badly needed legitimacy to this enterprise. Sure, the Taliban were up there with the Khmer Rouge when it came to going medieval on their people, but there was never really a problem with Afghanistan's human rights record. The Bush administration was negotiating with the Taliban to build a pipeline for Caspian gas pretty much till the jets hit the towers. Despite the courage and good intentions of the average soldier, Canadian troops in Afghanistan aren't fighting terrorism, nor fighting for democracy, and not even fighting for little girls to go to school. That last one really stretches my credulity. I can still remember the US government paying the Nicaraguan Taliban, the Contras, to blow up schools and little girls. The Taliban's one accomplishment was the eradication of the poppy crop. Now in Afghan fields, the poppies grow, and heroin fuels Taliban war chests. The US should just outsource the war on drugs to the Taliban. The sad reality is Canadians are dying to make Afghanistan safe for a gas pipeline from US-friendly Turkmenistan to Pakistan and India. Of course, India and Pakistan could get their gas from Iran, but the US would rather they didn't. Afghanistan aside, we all know the environment is a low priority for Der Harper. He goes through environment ministers like Spinal Tap drummers. But using the Senate to kill this bill displayed a contempt for democracy worthy of Hamid Karzai. Yet strangely, the Afghan Permanent War Decree and the hit on climate change have yet to raise the national ire. War is definitely the opiate of the masses. Because we support our troops and have become doubtful we can change the weather, Canadians can't seem to even manage a lukewarm reaction to the two biggest issues of our time. So we need to get back to fundamentals. We've already been in Afghanistan longer than the Russians, and they lost the war. And polar bears are drowning. So if we really support our troops, we must stop this war. And if we don't all want to die, we must stop global warming. Now, let's guide our actions accordingly. In Toronto, I'm Umberto da Silva, not Rex Murphy.